Hey everyone, Pinoy here once again, back with another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. In today's video, what we're going to be looking into are rare species throughout Iceborne and why Capcom needs to actually expand the roster of rare species in Monster Hunter World Iceborne and maybe even create some new rare species throughout this particular title. Now what we're going to be looking into here is first and foremost what Capcom can actually add into Iceborne as part of a title DLC update if they want to expand the actual title DLC update with rare species. And second of all, we're going to take a look at some hypothetical potential rare species monsters that Capcom could create in Iceborne that I just put on Photoshop for like a couple of minutes in order for you to get a better idea as to what kind of rare species we could be looking into if Capcom decides to make more of them in Iceborne or a future Monster Hunter game. Now with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and let me know in the comments below what monster you would like to see have a rare species throughout the entire Monster Hunter series. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some rare species and some potential ones in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. So first and foremost, what exactly does Capcom need to do in order to expand the roster of rare species in Monster Hunter World Iceborne? Well, the answer to that is actually quite simple. First and foremost, they need to bring in both the Molten Tigrex and the Lucent Nargacuga in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I think these creatures are a perfect fit for a rare spawn in the Guiding Lands at this point, especially considering the fact that we now have the volcanic region in the Guiding Lands where the Molten Tigrex can actually come into. Meaning that the Guiding Lands is now the perfect place for any rare species monsters to spawn throughout the Iceborne expansion. The Lucent Nargacuga can go into the forest region, and the Molten Tigrex, as I previously stated, can actually go into the volcanic region, allowing players, both veteran and new players alike, to actually experience most of the actual rare species that we have throughout the entire mainline series. Now unfortunately, they won't be able to bring in Abyssal Lagiacrus, another rare species monster, due to the fact that Lagiacrus is a Leviathan monster and Leviathans just don't work in any way, shape or form as of right now within Monster Hunter World or Iceborne for that matter, meaning that we will be missing out on one experience of a rare species fight, but for the most part, to be able to have 4 of them is more than plenty enough in my personal opinion, because as of right now, the Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos are great, but they've become quite redundant in my personal opinion because people have fought them too many times at this point, meaning that these creatures, though considered to be rare species, no longer feel that rare in my personal opinion. Now alongside bringing in these rare species monsters, Capcom also needs to make sure that these creatures do stay up to par with the actual lore that's behind them, and that is the fact that these creatures are actually considered to be Elder Dragon level monsters, meaning that much like what they did with the Hellfire mechanic on Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos, not only do they need to bring in their innate capabilities of Molten Tigrex and Lucent Nargacuga in Iceborne, they also need to evolve that even further beyond in order for these creatures to rival Elder Dragons in Iceborne in my personal opinion, especially considering the fact that Elder Dragons are pretty much the main theme of both Monster Hunter World and Iceborne as of right now when it comes to this game. Meaning that if Lucent Nargacuga and Molten Tigrex do come into Iceborne in some way, shape or form, Capcom will need to make sure that not only are they rare spawns, but they are very difficult monsters to fight in my personal opinion. Because again, these creatures are considered to be Elder Dragon level monsters. The Lucent Nargacuga could potentially take on the likes of a Nergigante in my personal opinion, simply because it's considered as a rare species monster. Same goes for the Molten Tigrex for that matter. This means that any creature that is considered to be a rare species in future Monster Hunter games will need to be Elder Dragon level monsters if Capcom decides to add them in Monster Hunter World Iceborne as title DLC updates or future Monster Hunter games. With an understanding that these creatures are Elder Dragon level monsters, what can we exactly expect for future Monster Hunter games in terms of new rare species monsters for the Monster Hunter series? Well, first and foremost, we can't expect any of the creatures that have subspecies on them but are considered to be lower on the food chain to have any rare species in any way, shape or form. In order for a rare species to happen, the creature that it's based on, in my personal opinion, needs to be considered as an apex predator, either as a standard monster or as a subspecies. In this case scenario, I picked out 2 monsters in general that I think have a potential to become rare species creatures. The first one is the Fulgur Anjanath. If the Fulgur Anjanath gives birth into a new monster that has adaptations from an encounter, let's say against a Savage Devil Joe, then this creature could potentially become a rare species monster that has the innate capability of the dragon element, as you can see right here. Now this is just something that I put up on Photoshop for like 5 minutes, but it gives you a rough idea as to what a rare species Anjanath could look like in Iceborne if Capcom did decide to create it. The other creature that I was thinking of was the Odogaron. Odogaron actually takes on an Elder Dragon in Monster Hunter World and in Iceborne as Ebony Odogaron, but for the most part it loses this fight. However, what about an encounter with something along the lines of Velkhana? Could the Ebony Odogaron potentially stand against this monster without losing that fight entirely? For me personally, it won't be able to do damage against Velkhana, but it might be able to adapt to the capabilities of this particular Elder Dragon, creating a rare species Odogaron that has the innate capability of ice similar to that of a Velkhana. Not only that, this Odogaron, in my personal opinion, could potentially have the armor capability of Velkhana, where it can actually coat its claws with ice in order to deal damage to the hunters even more severely. This is definitely something that I could see happening as a new rare species in Iceborne, but again, for the most part, so long as a creature has the potential to become an apex predator, then this creature could potentially become a rare species monster as well in Monster Hunter World Iceborne or future Monster Hunter games. Yes, that also includes the acidic Glavenus, maybe something along the lines of a Glavenus with a gun on its tail or an axe on its tail. Now overall, as you can see, rare species monsters need to be relevant in my personal opinion in Iceborne, but for the most part it seems like Capcom isn't really doing anything much with them as of right now, and I think it's about time that Capcom did something around these monsters rather than just giving us Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos. Molten Tigrex and Lucent Nargacuga being in Iceborne is gonna be a great start in my personal opinion, and I can't wait to see if these creatures can potentially make it in Iceborne in some way, shape or form. That's not to say that these creatures will make it into the game, but hypothetically speaking, they do have potential because the standard monsters for these creatures are actually in the game as of right now. However, Green Nargacuga isn't really something that we see in Iceborne, but at the same time, a lot of Green Nargacuga's capabilities was actually adapted to the standard Nargacuga to begin with, so there was no need for that subspecies in my personal opinion. But Molten Tigrex definitely has a lot of potential because not only is the standard Tigrex in Iceborne, but so is the Brute Tigrex. So overall, at least one of these creatures needs to make it in Iceborne in my personal opinion as a rare spawn in the Guiding Lands in order to complete the rare spawn experience throughout Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And that is pretty much it for this video, taking a look at rare species and what Capcom needs to do in order to really expand the overall category of rare species in Iceborne, as well as future Monster Hunter games for that matter, by creating some new rare species monsters. What do you think about rare species throughout the entire Monster Hunter series? Let me know in the comments below if there's any other creatures that you would like to see a rare species of, not just in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, but other Monster Hunter games. Now that is pretty much it from me for this video. If you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel, as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.